Welcome to the night class. This is Coach Knight here again for another exciting edition of Algebra 1. Yay. Alright, so today we are learning how to solve linear and quadratic equations, systems basically of equations is what we're doing here. And you can solve them the same way you do systems of linear equations, which is by graphing, elimination, and substitution. So I'm going to go through this right here with you real quick. Our first example is pretty much already done for you. It says right here, how can you use graphs to find the solutions of the equation? And basically you just set each side of the equals equal to a y. So you're going to let y equal 5x minus x, or 5 minus x squared, and you're going to let y equals x plus 3. That's what they did here and here. Okay, you just set, and of course you can do this in your calculator. I will show you how. But they do it by hand to graph the quadratic one. Okay, I'll let this one be the red one. Your vertex would be 0, 5. And then if you just picked two random numbers, you could do 1 and -1 or 2 and -2, whatever you want to do. If you do 1 and -1, if you do 1 you will get 4, and -1 you will also get 4. If you do 2 you will get 1, and -2 you will also get 1 when you plug it in. So there is 0, 5 up here, 1, 4, and -1, 4, -2, 1, and +2, 1 are right there. And then you just draw your parabola like they have it drawn there. For the other one, for this one, you don't have to make a table because it's a line. So you just use your y-intercept and your slope as 1. So my y-intercept is 3, slope is 1. You can go up 1 over 1, or you can go down 1 left 1 as many times as you want. And as always, the answers are where they cross. So right here, these two little sections where they are intersecting. Okay. Now, very important when you're doing these problems, remember, the original problems did not have y. Okay, so we didn't have y up here to begin with. So the y's are really just helping you figure out the x's. So my final answers for this was going to be x equals -2 and x equals +1, because that's where the x's are when they cross. Okay. If you wanted to do this on your calculator, you'll just go to your calculator and go to y equals. I already have them type in 5 minus x squared and x plus 3. And your calculator, you can hit graph, and you can see on mine where they are crossing. It's not a very good. I wish I could zoom 6 maybe. That didn't really help. Anyway, you can hit on your calculator. If you hit second and trace, and down at number 5 you will see intersect, and that's what you're wanting to do. Now your calculator is just a little different than mine. I'm going to hit number 5, and basically for yours you just have to take this your cursor and put it as close as you can to where you think they're crossing, and just hit enter 3 times. Okay, mine I have to do it a little differently, but you hit enter until it says intersection. Okay, and then you have to do it twice. So yours, you're just going to go put it close to the intersection, hit enter 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, mine is a little different that I'm showing you on here because this is an app. It's not exactly like your calculator. So mine, I have to go a little to the left and then a little to the right, and then it tells me down here, it says intersection is -2, 1. So x is -2, and then I have to do the same thing again, second trace number 5, and I come over here and I do it for this one. Again, you just have to put the cursor as close as you can to where it's crossing and hit enter 3 times, so you don't have to move it left or right. As soon as you get it close to the intersection, it will take care of that for you. Okay, I unfortunately do, so this one is 1, 4, which, as you remember, is the same answers we got, -2, 1, and 1, 4. Okay? You can do these. Let's see here. I'm going to do them by hand just to show you how quick they are. So again, we're going to make each of these their own little y equals. So y equals x squared plus 1 and y equals x plus 3. Okay? So for the x squared plus 1, I'm going to make a little xy chart. My vertex would be 0, 1. Again, I'm just going to do -1 and 1. If you plug those in, you get 2. And I'll come back and add more if I need to. So we would be here at 0, 1, 1, 2, -1, 2. And for the x plus 3, I'm going to start at 3, which is right here. And I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Or I could go down 1, left 1. Okay, so as you can see, doing it this way, we can already get one answer because they crossed. They crossed right here. Okay, but for the other one, looks like I probably need to go one more. So let's do 2 and -2. If I plug in 2 and -2, I will get 5. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's my other one. And -2 and 5. So there's my other graph. And so my answers are right here. We got 2, 5, and -1, 2. And again, the final answer is just what the x's are. So x equals -1 and x equals 2. Okay? And again, it's much quicker to do it on your calculator, but you don't always have your calculator. So if you have your calculator, you are more than welcome to use it, but just know how to do it by hand as well. Number 2 here, again, gotta make our own. We got y equals 5 minus, I'm gonna change that decimal to a fraction because I'm gonna have to do the slope here in a minute. Same thing for this one. That's gonna be -1/2 x plus 2. So I'll make a table. We've got, let's see here, that would be 0 and 5 again. I am going to use 2 and -2 to get rid of that 1/2. So if I did 2, plugged it in, that would be 4. -1/2 of 4 is -2. So 5 minus 2 is 3. And I should get 3 for that one. So 0, 5, 2, 3. And -2, 3. And like I said, I'm just going to leave those right there for now. Go ahead and graph the other one. I'll do this one in blue. It's starting at 2. And for this one, we're going down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, all the way. And you can also go up 1, left 2, which is right there, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. And so, draw my straight line if I can. Just like that. As you can see, I need a few more on the quadratic because I see it's crossing there. Okay, so we got that one taken care of, but we need one more. So let's try 4 this time. 4 and -4. And again, I'm picking even numbers so the 1/2 goes away. So if I did 4 squared would be 16. -1/2 times 16 is -8. And 5 minus 8 is -3. So these will be -3. And that looks like it's going to be a little too much. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. So and this is a perfect example of sometimes you may need that calculator just to see. Let's see if I could have tried 3. Let me see here. Do 3 and -3. I'm going to have to whip out my calculator to do this one. So we got 5 minus 1/2 times 3. is 3.5. 3.5, so this one will also be 3.5. So if I go over 1, 2, 3 and up, is that right? Oops, I'm sorry, that's not right. I didn't square it. Squared, there we go. 0.5, okay, that's making more sense. So 1, 2, 3 and a half, so I missed my point a little bit. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So it looks like it's going to be 3 and 0.5 for both of them, and that would be my answer. So x equals this point right here. What is that? Negative 2, 3, and x here was at 3 and 1/2. And again, I want to check that one with my calculator just to show you how to do it, because it was a little different. We have 5 minus 1/2, oops, times 3 squared. I put 3. I meant to put x. Sorry. I'm struggling here. Alright. And then the other equation, I done forgot what the other equation was. It was negative 1/2 x plus 2. So, negative 1/2 x plus 2. Graph. I know the one on the left, so I'm just going to do my second trace intersect for the one on the right. Let's make sure that is 3 and 0.5. And it is 3 and 0.5, so we're good. Alright, so that is how to do it by graphing. Our next way is going to be eliminating. So we're going to do elimination, and these, I like these because they're actually kind of quicker a lot of times. Because we are going to eliminate the y. So basically we just need to make one of these y's right here. We need to make one of them negative. So it doesn't matter which one. I like making the one without the x squared negative, so I'm going to basically just multiply everything on this one by -1. Okay, so the top one does not change. It's y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. And this becomes negative y minus 2x plus 4. And we add those up. Those cancel. We end up with 0 equals. We can't add x squared and negative 2x, so the x squared just comes down. We can say negative 6x minus 2x is negative 8x. And 8 plus 4 is 12. And from here, it is just solving that quadratic, okay? All we're doing is going to solve the quadratic. So you can do it a bunch of ways. You can do it by graphing. You can do it by the quadratic formula. You can do it by completing the square. You can do it by factoring, whatever way you want to do it. I'm going to do it by factoring. It's the quickest way in this case, because two numbers that multiply to be 12 and add up to -8 are -2 and -6. So my answers will be x equals 2 and x equals 6. Now, this one is a little different because, as you know, in our original problem, we had y's. So on the first equations, we didn't have y's, so we didn't write those, okay? We put the y's in. But on this one, we do have y's, so that means we need to go and we need to plug in x in both equations, or one of the equations, either one, to get the y. So when x is 2, I'm just going to plug it into the linear one because it's usually a little easier math. I don't know why I put 4. Sorry about that. Let me try this again. 2 times 2, that's why I put 4, because 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4. That would be 0, and then I'm going to do 6 as well. Plug in 2 times 6 minus 4. That would be 12 minus 4 is 8. So my answers are 2, 0, and 8, or 6, 8, excuse me. So again, you do put the y's in your answer for this one, okay? So a little different. Like I said, up here, we just have x's in our equation, so we're just looking for the x's. But for these, we have x and y, so you have to find both. So 2, 0, 6, 8. All right, let's try a couple more of those. Again, I like making the one without the x squared negative, so I'm going to put that, make that's negative, that's positive, that's negative, and I add them up. 0 equals the x squared just comes down. X does not have anything to add to it because there's no other x's. -4 minus 2 is -6. And then again, I'm going to factor. That would be x plus 3 and x minus 2, because -3 or -2 times 3 is -6, and 3 plus -2 is 1. So my x's are equal to -3 and x equals 2. Plug those in. I'm going to erase those because I want to plug it into the original. So y equals negative a -3 plus 4. That y would be 7. And then we have y equals 2. Oops, sorry, forgot about the negative. -2 plus 4, y is 2. So my answers are -3, 7, and 2, 2. Okay, one more time. All right, now on this one, part B right here, I am going to make this one, I'm going to change the top one because I want my my x squared positive. So I'm going to let that be negative, change that to positive, negative, negative. Okay, add them up. So we have negative y and positive y make 0 equals positive x squared. We have -4x and -x. That makes -5x. And then we have -2 and +2 make 0. So we're just left with x squared minus 5x. And so I'm going to factor again. They have an x in common. So factor that out. And so you set both of those equal to 0. So we're going to have x equals 0 and x equals 5. And then we plug them in. Y equals 2 minus 0 would be 2. And y equals 2 minus 5. That is -3. So we have 0, 2, and 5, -3. Those are our answers. Okay? All right. Now, we've done graphing, we've done elimination. We're going to do one substitution for you here. This is our last one. So it says a phone company launches the sale of 2 phones in the same week. The phone on the top is an upgraded version of the other phone during the week. During what week are the sales projected to be the same for both phones in thousands? What will the weekly sales of each phone be for that week? Okay, so here are my equations. It is a word problem, but it's not really a word problem because they give you the equations. We have y equals 20x, and we have y equals -2x squared plus 60x. Now, we've done graphing, we've done elimination. This one we're going to substitute. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what y equals right here, 20x, and I'm going to distribute it to this y. Not distribute it, I'm going to substitute it in for that y. So that will be 20x equals -2x squared plus 60x. And I'm going to subtract 20x over because we want it equal to 0. So 0 will be -2x squared plus 40x. And we factor out what we can. That will be 0. You can take out a -2x and you would have an x minus 20 left. So you set both of these equal to 0, so negative 2x equals 0, and x minus 20 equals 0. So x will be 0 and x will be 20. Now, since it's a real life problem, we don't really need to worry about the x equals 0, okay? That's basically common sense. The 0 week, the week before they launched, neither phone had sold any. So obviously they're going to be the same because they're both 0, 0. But week 20 is where we need to find out, okay? So at week 20, if we plugged it into the first one, y equals 20 times 20, that would be 400. And if we plugged into the other one, y equals negative 2 times 20 squared plus 60 times 20. Let me change color. Erase some of this so I can finish it. So 60 times 20, and if you put that in your phone, you will also get 400. Okay, so the first question says, what week are the sales projected to be the same? So that would be the 20th week. Okay, they are the same. And then what will the weekly sales of each phone be for that week? It would be 400. And actually it says, what will the weekly sales for each phone? Okay, yeah, so not necessarily $400, just 400. During what week are the sales to be the same for both phones? In thousands. Oh, in thousands, excuse me. So since it's in thousands, it's 400,000, excuse me. All right. Hope this video has helped. There's a quick little review of everything we've done there, okay? Again, quadratic equations can have 0, 1, or 2 solutions, okay? And the systems of equations, they can be solved using elimination, substitution, or graphing still. So same thing. Here's an example of elimination. Here's substitution. There's graphing. Hope this helps. See y'all next time, and as always, stay above the line.